As we come to the close of March, Women's International Month, there's lots of pledge. You'll see lots of pledges on social media, LinkedIn, all over the place. One, it can't just be relegated to 1 month out the year. If this is meant to turn the corner, it needs to be something that's on the agenda. That said, let me take a step back and say that I was raised by a single mother, so I know firsthand what happens when there's barriers to entry for the acceleration of upward mobility. I'll just leave it there because that's much longer story. Maybe for another day. If you ask me my position on the topic, I will first lean. I'm a performance guy. I'm a merit person, which means the best person for the job deserves to be enrolled. That said, though, two things can be true, and there are lots of barriers to entry, whether it's women in CXO roles, women in board roles. There still continues to be a bias. I can confirm that because I've been in private conversations where I've seen some of the things that women do well be misinterpreted as a sign of weakness and therefore get in the way of their forward progression at said organization. In many instances, those women had to leave to be able to take the next step just because their incumbent organization didn't quite understand or recognize or appreciate. You can pick whatever word, to input into that sentence, but it's the same thing. They There was just not the fit for what it is that they did with what the organization was valuing. And I think I'll start there because in order to fully appreciate what female leaders bring to the table, the organization has to have an alignment towards that as well. If they value something entirely different, women, generally speaking, that will be the first barrier to entry. Because in a lot of those organizations that I'm thinking about, there is still an allowance for bad behavior so as long as results are achieved. Now, you've heard me talk before. You can achieve your results, but at the detriment of, cross-functional relationships, loss of trust by internal, external stakeholders, and or, but let me give you a better analogy, almost behaving like a bull in a china shop. You can achieve your goals, but if it comes with chaos and catastrophe attached to it, I would ask you to really revisit what success looks like. So in in environments where accountability is not anchored, where organizational culture is not valued, those are barriers to entry for women because these are things that need to be in place as values and institutional markers for what it is you're trying to do internally. If there is an absence of accountability, then it's not based on merit. So let's just call it what it is. If organizational culture is something that sits on the wall but isn't lived and breathed by your senior leadership team and then cascaded, modeled, and then reinforced downstream, these are further barriers to entry, not just for women, but just for people who are ethical, high potential talent, people who sit on the margins who, without these guardrails, will fall through the cracks. So, more broadly speaking, if we are going to move away, if we're going to move from words to action to institutionalization, we really have to look at the makeup of the organization and what's important for them versus what it is they're saying they're pledging to.